Alright, what's going on, guys? Hope y'all are having a good day. So, Halo Infinite's biggest multiplayer update just came out today, and it came alongside a ton of brand new game modes and playlists, and also some progression changes we're going to talk about. But, as you guys know, the campaign launched for Halo Infinite on the 8th, and so that was around a week ago at this point, and no changes to the multiplayer ended up coming to the game alongside that patch, and when that was available. But, today we got a bunch of playlist changes to look at, some new modes that you can actually play, and also, we're going to be discussing some changes to the progression and also some future plans of when the devs, are off holiday and get back to work and everything in January. Some updates that we can expect in the distant future. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this video today, and if you are enjoying Halo Infinite multiplayer, let me know by dropping a thumbs up on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, as around 87% of you guys are not currently subbed. If you want to stay up to date with Halo Infinite and just some other things that are going on in the Halo sphere, then make sure to subscribe and stick around. It'd be very much appreciated. But anyways, just a few hours ago, we got a few new modes that you can just go immediately queue up for now. The biggest complaint with Halo Infinite MP, at least as far as I was able to tell, was that you weren't able to jump into the experience that you wanted to play. For example, you wanted to play just Slayer, you didn't really have that option. You could jump into quick play, but you weren't really guaranteed it. So that is now going to be an option if you're just a Slayer kind of guy. That's going to be totally available for you. There also is a free-for-all mode, and I'm going to show you some gameplay of it right here. This free-for-all was very interesting in Halo Infinite. I think it works moderately well, but it's got a couple of problems. I noticed right off the bat that because, just of Halo's, spacing and health delay and everything, the rate at which you engage in gunfights is most cut out for like a team battle mode, obviously, so you can like get trades and stuff and actually have time to heal. So the interesting thing with most maps in Infinite's free-for-all, you basically will always get third party. I mean, not totally, but it is a little more difficult to go on, consistent streaks in free-for-all than it is in something like big team battle or even just regular quick play in any other mode. Free-for-all does, however, have the traditional weapon spawn system. You will spawn with ARs, and all of the, pick-upable items and weapon racks are going to be in the maps as normal, so nothing's really changed there. I did notice as well that it feels like, to a degree, mouse and keyboard may have the advantage in free-for-all, and the reason I say that, usually you're going to get a kill in free-for-all and then have to immediately do a 180 because there's going to be somebody either trying to third party or just be behind you, and it seems like the ability to turn around very quickly is actually going to be a huge advantage in free-for-all because you're not really forward-facing as much as you are in a team battle mode, but it's a minor thing I noticed. I believe the max score in this lobby is 30, so the first to 30 kills will win the game, but after my experience, more often than not, the game will usually end on a time limit rather than somebody actually getting the amount of kills, and I don't know if that's because of map design and maybe the, rate at which engagements happen. I'm not sure, but most of the time just runs out. Overall, though, I think free-for-all is a very healthy addition to Halo Infinite's multiplayer. It's a very distinct feeling from the rest of the playlist, and I think it greatly needed it, because even if you can't find like a team to run squads with, to play, either big team battle or just regular quick play or ranked or whatever it is, this is something a little more casual you can just jump into very quickly as a solo, maybe shoot around and warm up, and you don't need a team necessarily to go in here, obviously. But yeah, just aside from a few issues I have with free-for-all, I think it's a very healthy addition to Infinite. Now, to shift gears a bit, I want to talk a bit about progression. They say, before the holiday season fully kicks off, we've added 4 action-packed playlists to matchmaking and added a few targeted adjustments to challenges. Obviously, we went over all of the playlists, but they say, as for progression, we've updated many of the weekly challenges to reduce their dependencies on specific gameplay scenarios and ease the requirements when those specific challenges do pop up. So this is referring to like a lot of the ways that you would have to go out of your way to get really specific kinds of kills in very specific modes, and I wasn't a huge fan of this. I think the biggest weakness in the entire progression system was the ability to basically block you out for playing the way you want to play. Also, they do mention we'll monitor the changes to challenges as well as each playlist health and make adjustments if needed, but we're excited to see what you think of them. What that means is the reception to not only these new game modes, but also the changes to progression are going to be very vocal, and they're definitely going to take those into consideration, and possibly will make adjustments after the holidays, I would assume. Now, another updated playlist we got alongside multiplayer, which I guess we had to an extent a little bit before, but now it's like fully integrated, is Fiesta. And I'm going to talk about this one a little bit because as opposed to free-for-all, I have a lot of good things to say about it, but I also have quite a few critiques. So obviously this isn't the first time we've seen Fiesta in Infinite's multiplayer. Now in the newest update we have Fiesta Slayer, and for those of you who don't know, the way it works is obviously everybody spawns in with completely random weapons. There's no weapon racks on the wall, so you kind of just get what you get, and you can scavenge as you play throughout the match and pick up other people's guns, stuff like that. And it's just kind of like a good, interesting, random way to play with all kinds of weapons weapons in the game. Now, I think the problem is that the maps for Fiesta, specifically Slayer, are a little bit too small in my opinion. I feel like this version of Fiesta Slayer, and specifically how it functions in Infinite, would actually be best played on the big team battle maps, or I think the only like traditional regular map that can fit this mode and it feels good in is Behemoth. But other than that, I think the maps feel a little bit too small and chaotic and cluttery for this kind of mode, but I would say for the most part, it's not like a massive deal. I just never have been the biggest fan of Fiesta itself, but I think for those people who like this mode, it's not a bad implementation in Infinite. In terms of other changes that we can expect down the road as far as gameplay goes, I can imagine these multiplayer playlists are going to be rotated in and out. If there's anything new in terms of a playlist you would like to see that you would want to be swapped out, let me know down below in the comment section. So we've already got Team Slayer and Tax Slayer. I don't think there's really any other like mainstays that I guess you cannot access with relative ease right now in Infinite, at least in terms of what the normal Halo player will think of. We'll see the response to how the community takes to these playlists, and we'll see if 343 makes any adjustments. But we also do have word from 343 that very soon they're going to be taking a look at a little bit more of a robust anti-cheat approach, and there's going to be a report button for very suspicious players, and hopefully the anti-cheat itself is you know, a little more functional. I would say it's pretty good in Infinite right now, but I've had the odd cheater slip through my lobby and get in my games every now and then. It's not a good experience, obviously, especially in Halo. It's so obvious when somebody's cheating, and it just completely ruins the entire experience. So hopefully they get a more robust anti-cheat, or it starts working, and we get a very functional report button. That's the double-edged sword, unfortunately, when it comes to free-to-play games. Of course, you basically make it so that everybody can try out the game, and you have a very low barrier to entry, but also it makes it so that there's really little punishment for cheaters, if at all. You can just basically make a new account, and the game's free to play, so there really isn't any downside into doing that. At least with a paid game, they have to repurchase the game every time they want to cheat again, so fair enough, but I'm hoping they can snuff out the problem before it even gets any worse. December 14th update only had changes to MP when it comes to playlists. Nothing in-game has been rebalanced, but it looks like that is going to be happening at some point, probably in the next update or sometime in the relatively distant future. This is what it says on the patch notes. All balance changes will be added here, obviously, when they've been made, but none have actually come to the game as of yet. So this leaves the open question, what is going to be rebalanced? In terms of weapons, I think two need to be rebalanced or looked at, probably first and foremost, this being the Commando and also the Stalker Rifle. Now, of course, there are instances in which both of these weapons are incredibly effective, but generally speaking, these are some of the most outclassed and underpowered weapons in the game. Many people just complain about the Commando literally being just the back of the pack, and it's like literally putting yourself at a disadvantage in most gunfights if you are running it. So I think the Commando needs to be reworked. Same thing with the Stalker Rifle, although I seem to have a little bit more inconsistent results with it. It's either really good or it's really bad. Also, I do suspect vehicles to be getting some kind of balance rechanges, and I think they're going to be slightly more viable, potentially having more health or be more resilient to damage and things like that, because they are sort of death traps still at the moment, even though you can be effective with certain ones. A lot of just like the ground vehicles are so easy to kill. Now, lastly, I do want to mention that although we got a lot of updates to MP today, we also have some changes with the campaign, or some like issues that are being looked at right now. If you guys are interested in the campaign and would like to see what's happening with that, I'll leave the link to these patch notes down below in the description. There are a few campaign changes that if you haven't played it, maybe don't check it out. I don't know if anything is spoilery in there, but just proceed at your own discretion. Just rest assured that there are issues in the campaign right now. However, they are known and they are being worked on. So it's good to see 343 just staying on top of these issues, and there really isn't that much in the patch notes. Like, compared to other games that I've looked at, surprisingly, the patch notes are very skim, and it's not just because they didn't change a lot, but because there isn't a whole lot that needs to be redone or fixed. But that said, obviously, we can always do with more content, and whether that be in the form of progression through the battle pass or the addition of new weapons and maps and modes and things like that, we're always open towards. But this is the update for MP so far in the February 14th update, and I wanted to bring these to you guys just so everybody is up to date on it. And I'm going to be playing a lot more of this because I'm still having an unbelievable amount of fun with this game, and if you guys are as well, let me know down below in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel before you go, and I also do stream over on Twitch. In fact, I'm probably streaming right now at the time of me recording this video, so come over and say hello. But anyways, have a great rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.